Hi guys, so today I am super excited to try out this Hunkydory Premium Magazine Volume 17 kit that I recently picked up through Craft Stash, I believe. If it's still available there, I will have it linked in the description box. Those would be affiliate links, which means I'll make a small commission for your purchase items to those links. Now, it looks like I didn't open this. Is that the case? I think whenever I got it, I might have gotten a larger haul where I just couldn't go through every magazine, but I just been looking forward to this one, and I know Craft Stash puts their magazines on sale here and there. It's like every other weekend, every other day, so hopefully today you caught them on a good day where this is on sale. But if not, I mean, like I picked it up. I think they're usually, I don't know, up to like 15, 16, 17 bucks. Depends on what's in it, right? So Hunkydory has some different magazines where some of them have smaller paper packs and they might be a little bit less, but usually they're these box kits. But anyway, I think I ordered this one again just because it did go on sale and I still wanted more of the papers. Yeah, so I'm not sure where I was, but here we are. So, yeah, I just would like to have more of the papers. So we have a little stamp set. And again, I always try to check to see if this is acrylic or photopolymer. Very interesting. In the past, some of them have been photopolymer. What I've noticed, whenever it does have a photopolymer set, it might have less of the other items. So this is an acrylic stamp set. Nothing wrong with acrylic. Just depends on the type of acrylic people use to see if you get a good stamp or not, right? Like right now, honestly, I'll just take one of these guys real quick. I'll give it a stamp just to try it out since I don't think I've ever had, I don't know, I feel like the ones I've been using have all been photopolymer. So let's just take that, and for some reason the other day I was making a video and I blotted some little spray, gold spray with a card base. So I don't know, we'll put this little guy on here. Let's just this is textured though, so we'll see what happens. But and then of course I stamped it, I don't know why, with brown memento ink, and just give it a firm pressure. And there's a little guy, so stamps real well. Again, you know, like Die Press, they have their stamps are made out of acrylic. Yeah, so Die Press, that's what they say, that they use the acrylic stamp sets to keep their costs lower and pass that along, you know. And they have whatever it is they use, it works well, right? I've had other acrylics where it's just like, this is a nightmare. So real quickly, since I'm off track already, well, not really, because I'm talking about acrylic stamps, but if you ever have acrylic stamps where they're problematic, you can take like a nail buffing block or like a little craft buffing block, the kind you use to like sandpaper so that, you know, the white core shows through or whatever, and just, you know, when you place it on your block, let's pretend that's on there, just rub over it real quickly. Some people like to use like stays on ink the first time because stays on, right? It'll stick to that, and then that'll help you get your ink to stick the next time. So what the problem is usually with acrylic is that it wants to repel ink, because it's just like any plastic that you put water on it, it's just going to want to like go away, right? So where photopolymer holds onto it a little better, this stuff just repels it. So, and then it depends on the inks you use. If you're using like Tim Holtz, like, you know, distress inks, I mean, they're watery, right? It's even worse. So pigment inks are usually better to work with this kind of thing, or something that's really good like that. But anyway, oh, the little fairy house, little tree, how cute is that? And then these little guys make little butterflies and flowers. I suppose you could cut those and make them just cut into your paper, and you have this little aperture. But look at this little guy. We'll see what they recommend doing with that. And then we have this background embossing folder. It looks like it's a regular embossing folder, like 2D, whatever, you know, regular embossing folder, not 3D, is what I'm trying to say. Let's look at these papers. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for this. You guys, I picked up more of the first one I showed you guys with the little unicorn, because the paper in that is so pretty, so definitely been grabbing it whenever I see it on sale. So this one has like a little woodland man here. It says, I'm like, what would we do? How cute is that? And this is So Plaid You're Here. So again, pop these out, use them as toppers, use them as your focal point, layer them up together, which is what Hunkydory does. I'm like, whenever I see a Hunkydory video, I feel like they make 3 cards on the top of one card. You know what I'm saying? It's like this, this, and this, and then a bunch of several sentiments on there or whatever. So it's kind of interesting. Little banner strip, or, you know, like a ribbon strip. Yeah, I don't know what else to call it. You know, this one has the Happy Father's Day in there. So Plaid You're Here. I think I've had this one for a minute. Oh, this is interesting. So this one, the insert papers, or at least these are like lightweight. they're different. They're like this. And this one has a shine to it, and this is a double-sided paper. So this is the insert papers. So if you make a card and you want to put an insert in there so you can still write but still have some decoration, you can use this. Again, you can fold it, you know, 5x7, A2 size. You can just use this piece. You can just use this side. You can use it as a backing, whatever it is that you want to do with these papers. But these are thin, so just, you know, like layering weight. A little thicker than like a printer paper, but look at those. Oh my gosh. Okay, so very interesting, because a lot of times it'll say, like on the outside, say 2 paper packs or 2 lines, right? So obviously this is like little woodsman Father's Day kind of stuff. And then there's this one. That's the fairy garden. So this one said lumberjack wood in the fairy garden. Oh my gosh, you guys. Yeah, I definitely am glad I picked up more sets of this. Look at these little, again, the strips. We have birthday wishes, sending fairy kisses. Oh my goodness. The little gallon. All these are usually, like, you can cut from here. You can cut this. You can also cut this. The little gnome. Oh my gosh. You guys. Look at this little sweet little girl. I love it. Oh my gosh. May your day be full of fun and friends. Just so cute. So that one has, I'm assuming, whatever's going on here. Yeah, let's see. Is something else still? Oh, okay, all right, okay. So again, since there's 2 collections in here, we have like the papers. Again, those thinner papers, they're shiny, double-sided. And then these are your card inserts. I guess we didn't see card inserts yet for this one, did we? No. Okay, so we have this little cutie. Again, I know I had read reviews where people said that the pretty part would be on the back, like if you folded this in half to make a card. That's not really their intention. They want you to cut this up and do some funky stuff. You can use this as a mat. You can use this side. You can trim it down. You could use this as a side layer. And this, they do all kinds of crazy stuff. So, single-sided with that prettiness. And then this one has a little gnome. That one had a little foil. This one does not. Oh my gosh. Well, let's take another look at that. That is adorable. I have a feeling there's 4 card layers for each of these guys. And I always forget what they call this part of it. Because like I said, they have inserts, and let me see. 68-page magazine, yes. 2 exclusive Hunkydory card collections, Lumberjack Wood and In the Fairy Garden. And then it just talks about the other stuff. So, yeah. But, okay, so this one's gorgeous. Again, cut this off, pair it up over here, put this little piece over there. However it is you want to play with that. But how pretty the colors on this one, right? Where the other one's like pinks and corals, and this one's more woodsy. Look at the little sweetie. Oh my gosh. And I think, oh, what else we have here? Oh, the inserts, yes. Look how sweet those are. Now, they make them real muted, so, like, I mean, honestly, I wouldn't just put this, like, on a card front and be like, oh, that's good, because it's so muted. But you might. I mean, I think there's some ways you can get away with that. Like, it's definitely background paper, right? Ooh, do some stamping and make it pop a little more. And that little guy there. So that's why these are so muted. They're intended to be layers that you write on. And then this is the card parts, whatever you want to call it, for the lumberjack wood. So here you can see everything. They just had it separated out in an odd way. So these are those parts. Look at this. Aww. So cute. We have a little guy here. I know with the Anna Griffin, like, cart I was like, I don't know. It's not really anything like my family. They don't wear suits. I guess sometimes my brother does, but like for work, you know, they're more, what's the word? Agrarian is in agriculture and stuff. But this is definitely something that's works out much better. Look at that. So cute. And then this little guy. Oh, I wonder if we can use these things for like, maybe even scrapbooking or like a mini album, like with all the times we've gone to the Grand Canyon or took the RV out. I think that'd be cute. Anyway, what I'm going to do is thumb through this. Of course, it's not my magazine to just be like, hey, look at all the ideas they have here. But what I think I'll do is I'll take inspiration. Again, this is very similar to that one we did last time around. And see what we want to do. See what I was saying? Like, they do like 3 card fronts. It's quite a bit. They put quite a bit, you know. Oh, how cute. Oh my gosh, you guys. It's like a little, like another Father's Day one with a shirt. But they just put that material this way. And then they put buttons and put like a little fake pocket. Cute. And see if there's anything fun in here that's a little different that we might want to try out. Again, I usually end up doing my own sizing or whatever just because I don't want to just take exactly what they're saying. And we'll get something done. I'll be right back. I think I'm going to do something like this one. And only because I was like, oh, that's interesting. You know, I thought she must have inked up the embossing folder, but no, it's a little something different. So I will leave this over here because they're using a different card size that I normally don't, like A6. I don't even know what that means. I mean, obviously I can think about it for 2 seconds, but I don't want to. So I'm gonna put this to the side here. And I'm already starting to misspeak. You know I'm going to do an A2 size, I think. Actually, let me see if that even works. I should use that same piece that I was stamping on. Oh yeah. It might look a little different. We'll see what happens, but we're basically going to ink up paper, and then you run it through, and then you scrub away the rest of the paper so only the white shows up on top, and then the ink is down at the bottom. I don't know how to explain that, so I'll explain it right now. But let's get the paper and then get this going, and I'll talk about that when I get there. So let me think. Oh, is this white paper already? Oh, it is. Okay, so in my mind I would do one piece that's A2 size, excuse me, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and then just trim it down so it has panels, because I don't know if you noticed in the picture, there's panels just for interest. But I think the reason they say to just do pieces of paper and use the color is because, you know, if I put the whole piece of paper, you're missing this section anyway, so you might as well do what you need to do. So let me think. If I'm doing 5 1/2 and divided by 3, that's less than 2 inches each, but I kind of want to do what I want. So I think what I'm going to do is make them 2 inches each and then cut them down. So 2-inch strips that are 4 1/4. I'm just making this up, so I don't know. We'll see if it works. So for right now, it's doing 4 1/4. Maybe 4 inches is better. That's okay. And then 2-inch strips. Again, we could just color this all at once and then cut them up. I think that'd be okay too, because now I'm at the color, but oh well, that's what I did. Should have gone with my gut feeling on this one as far as that part, but that's okay. So we have these little pieces of paper. And I am going to... Sorry, then this is super reflective, but what are you going to do? I'm going to put this here, and then let's grab some colors that I like. I think she used pink and green, but you know I like pinks and like blues and stuff like that, so I think what I'll do is I'll use this guy. And... Sorry, I'm just trying to move something with that. Ooh, is this too pink? Worn lipstick. How bright is worn lipstick? Let's check this out. Okay, this will be for the blue, and this one will be for reddish pink. Let's see where we're at. It's a little bright, but that's okay. So I'm going to come in with this, and I'm going to do this with all of them. And they're on the same height, you know what I'm saying? So they're kind of similar. Actually, this is easier for me to do this way now. Just getting some color in here. I don't want it to be too bright. Ooh, that sounded gross. Okay. And on that middle part, I will do a little blending. And maybe bring this pink back. Kind of get it back over here. Do a little blending. See if we can get a little purple going in here. That's all I'm trying to do. Yeah, there we go. I like to get that purple effect and it just be blue or whatever. So it's a little bit of a blue tone. Ooh, purple. It's very hard to see on camera. So let's just do that again. And I'm already mixing my colors in a way that I don't want because of this. So what happens is I like this surface because it's you can keep getting the ink off of it, right? Because it's slick. But at the same time, the colors are already blending there and then I'm bringing them in. But that's okay. All right. Something like that. And I'm going to do the exact same thing to these two. So try to blend them kind of in the same height, right? Okay. And I'll be right back. I guess that is it for that. So a little more red and blue than I would like, to be honest, but we'll see because we're going to rub a lot of that away and it might just be okay. So I'm going to take a moment to clean this guy off. You know what? The other day I was cleaning this and I thought, oh, you know what? I'll try this stamp cleaner from Tonic. And why not, right? It's ink. And it actually makes it feel really nice. Like it just glides right over that. So I will say if you're using a hybrid ink on this mat, even though it's really hard to stain it, you can still stain it with a hybrid ink if you leave it there. If you let it dry, it'll want to stay. Okay, so with these guys, what we're going to do is run these through. Now, what you want is to turn them around. So this is raised up and it pushes into this, right? So normally you do that and you let it be pushed up and good. But this time we want to flip it because we want the trees to push in and we're going to erase away the color on the rest of it. Now I kind of want to keep a lot of the kind of the blended area, so I'm going to make sure that this is where I want it to be, kind of like in here. And then I'll take some of this one too. That way I can get two run through at the same time. So I'm kind of pushing it up a little bit to only have a little bit of that pink there. And I'm going to run this through. And then I'll do the same thing with this last one. I'll just pick an area of the trees to run it through. So as you can see, this is what I'm doing. I will be right back, guys. So I have my little pieces here. This feels so weird to me. Like, hopefully it works. We'll see. It's gonna take a lot of work though, I have a feeling. So let me see if I should put like a scrap piece of paper down. Just because it's gonna be kind of dusty. So what happened is everything got pushed down, and then it has this area, the raised areas. So all I'm gonna do is come in and basically systematically stay in one area. Oh my gosh, you guys, you see what's happening? I know that might sound horrible, but we're gonna scrape away the color on those raised areas. That is pretty cool. And then we're gonna cut a lot of this away, so I'm really just kind of focusing down here in the trees, because we're gonna cut that away from this top part anyhow. Oh my gosh, this is just a nail buffer from the store. Because if you buy a craft buffer, it's gonna cost more, because it's a craft item instead of just being a nail buffer from, you know, the store. You gotta be kidding me. That is so cool. I mean, I've done this the other way, right? When the stuff is up on top. That is so cool. So now we have our little trees, and they're just exposed because of the raised parts, you know? So I'm gonna take a little moment to do this a little better. But I'm gonna do it to all three of these guys. And I'll be right back. I think I'm happy with what I got here. So, the magazine did say to trim away just kind of in here and the top parts of this. So I'm going to do that before I cut it down, I think. And then that way, well, no, you know what, let's cut them down first. Or what do we think? No, because that way we can see what we're doing, yeah. So I do need to cut them down. Remember, I just made them 2 inches across, so this is obviously 6 inches worth of trees here. But let's pretend, I don't know what all of this is going to be in here, but we're just going to go around and fussy cut a little bit of this. Again, this might be cut away later because of the height too, I don't know. And so I'm just kind of coming in here, cutting around everything. I'm not being super careful about it. It's going to be kind of in the backdrop anyway. But just kind of going around everything. And I'll do the same thing for the other two. And I probably should have gotten a deeper emboss. That way I can really scrub away a lot of the white area, but I didn't. I just kind of let it do its thing. And so I wasn't able to really scrub in there. That looks pretty cool. Okay, so let's pretend, you know, I'll still cut that one down maybe after I cut it away. So I'm going to do that to cut like the top line of all these guys, and then we'll see how much we want to cut off of each one to make them work on an A2 size card. Okay, just thinking out loud here. I think if I do 1 3/4 inch strips and then layer them on here, that will be good. Let's see. Because what happens is, if we do 1 1/2, that's only 4 1/2. That's a whole other inch, you know, that we still need to account for. But if we do 1 3/4, I think that ends up being 5 1/4. Let me think about that one. 5 1/4. So I want to see how much of this I can chop off. If we're here and I want 1 3/4, I'm gonna cut off this much. I don't know. And 1 3/4. I'm just kind of keeping an eye on like the straightest part that I have of this. That way I can have a good idea of what we're doing here. 1 3/4 would be like here. And I chop that little amount off. That seems to be okay. I'm trying to see what they're doing in the picture. She kind of has this one so it stays kind of full. Sorry guys, I'm just trying to think what one might look better. Okay, I am going to take 1 3/4 on this side. Just leave this the way it is. Okay, about here. And then to make this look, we can either leave it like this because that's going to be the edge anyway, you know, or you can still cut it in fun ways, whatever you want to do. This one, I'll take the 1 3/4 off of this side because I think that's would look better. Get what I'm saying? Because I still have this. And then if I want to cut in here just so it's not so straight, we can do that, right? To make it look a little more organic, I can kind of come in here and do this kind of thing. Just so it's not like straight, super straight. Something like that. Right? And then this one. I think I have to leave that and take the 1 3/4 off this side. We can take a little off both sides. Look at that. Okay. Actually, that looks really cute. Then here, what I'm going to do is just, again, make it look a little more organic. Okay, let me clean up and I will be right back. Okay, so if I have these guys here, and that's what I'm going to do, what this is going to end up being is taller in here, like the way she put some little fun stuff. And, you know, if you think about it, you can make it so that this is 5.5 inches. Maybe we stick this up so it's 5.5 inches tall, so it's a 5.5 inch square card, right? So you can put it in an envelope that's about that size. But she did pop these up, so I'm going to go ahead and take a moment to do that. And all I'm going to do is just put some dimensionals on the back of these guys. And then just center them in a way that they're a little bit... I should put this one like more up here. Yeah, I'll take the carriers off and I'll place them kind of down, giving themselves a little bit of room in between, and stick them down, something like that, okay? So dimensionals on the back of all of them and just kind of arrange in this way. Put dimensionals on all of them, and I haven't even stuck them down yet. I just want to make sure they were where I think they should be. And they just left white in the background on that card, so I'll just leave that too. But if you want to put like a background paper, you can definitely do that. This is very interesting, you guys. I should probably clean that off. It's a little dusty from all this stuff we did. Okay, so let's get our pretty little papers back. And they just did a circle with another circle. Grabbed everything but my little toppers. Okay, so they use this one. I mean, we can use whatever you want, but let's go ahead and grab this one because I think for this measurement, this one still looks the best. And they just took this out, and they took this little pretty part here. Ah. How do you guys pop these when you're not... I always wonder, should I bring them out this way? Because I think if you push them to the back, you might end up messing up that little foil. You know, that little foil area, because it might tear it in a way that... I don't know. So I bring them forward, but then that also means the one behind it's going back, right? But either way, we can keep this for another time. We're using this guy. Also, do you guys like to trim these little bits? Little burrs, whatever you want to call them, that are sticking out? I don't know, it's funny if you watch the Hunkydory videos, some of the gals take the time to do that and other ones just move along, you know? So it just depends, I guess, on your personal preferences. Look at that. Oh my gosh, I wasn't sure if that reddish pink was going to look nice or not. That worn lipstick, it's a little more red in my opinion than pink. I guess it depends on how much you put on there. And then this little gal, oh my gosh. What's a bummer is I love the way this one came out. I'm going to be covering it, but that's okay. So you have that, and then they use a little bit of the, you know, cuteness that's here. You can use whichever one you like. They use the thicker strip. This one obviously coordinates with the other stuff. So let's get a piece of this. And what's interesting about this guy is that it is stuck down on the edges. So even though you're popping this, the very edges are stuck down. Now I can just, you know, trim it from here if we want. Or you can just trim just that one little piece, right? That one little area. So let's get this guy out. And again, I'm just going to come in here and cut that. But sending fairy kisses, birthday wishes, happy new home. Oh, that'd be so cute for like my niece. But I think I'm gonna do with love. I was just gonna say, because I don't have a really birthday wishes one, even though the birthday wishes is a bigger sentiment, so that's nice, takes up more room. But for now, let me grab this one. Let me put these things to the side and kind of reorient myself. I'll be right back. So I was putting this away, and I thought, you know, maybe this is kind of too big for this card, because again, this is an A2, it's a little bit smaller. And then I thought maybe I can use the smaller one, so I was taking this off, and I thought, oh, you know what, the colors on this one actually match better. Like if I was to use this little strip, and this is just a throwaway strip, it was just what was going along the bottom of this, you know. But it has little foiling on it, and you know what? Why not? Okay, just because it's a little smaller, and it kind of goes back with that blue that's back down there. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use this piece. Also, it kind of helps blend this because now you're really paying attention to the way that's lined up, and this one's a little bit higher than the rest, so you know what? I don't like that, so I'm going to do it this way. So let's just put a little glue. And then, you know, you can trim this up however. You can cut it first, knowing you should cut it at 5 1/4 if that's what you're going to do, or we can lay it on here first and then trim that piece off, right? So I'm going to let that set up for a second, and I think this needs to be here. So now let's pay attention. If this is here, and we have 4 1/4, because this is 5 1/2, this should come down like right here. That way it's a 5 1/2 inch square card, right? So I'm going to put some glue on this and get that stuck down, and then we'll pop up our little lady. So again, like right in here, let's see, we're at 5 1/2-ish. Oh, don't move. Don't move on me, buddy. Like there? Does that look about 5 1/2? We're clearing the 5 1/2 area. I think that's good. And then we could put some dimensionals behind these guys if we want. Since I wasn't paying attention to that, I would just cut some smaller pieces like this and then just tuck them in just to help keep that up, because you know, if you're going to send this, it probably will get squished. So I'm just trying to place this in a way that's not showing. Very good. How about this one? Oh my gosh. Oh, a little bit further in. A little bit further in, buddy. Come on. There we go. Perfect. And then let me put some dimensionals on her, and I'll put a couple extra, like I'll layer them up. Let me see. Yeah, so this piece over here I'll put 2 because it needs to clear what we did plus enough for this other piece, right? So we'll pop this in here. Oh my gosh. How cute. Is that all I need? Just the 2? Sure. I'm just laying the other glue to set up on this strip before I stick anything down. And she can be perfectly just straight in here, or if you want to give her a jaunty angle or whatever you want to do. Like she's running through her little forest. So cute. Okay, so there's that. Different. It's just something I want to try because, you know, why not? Let's try something different. And just going to cut that off. And that's just not even, you know, just like a little throwaway piece there. And then we have this little guy. Oh, I cut into that one a little too much. Yeah, I was just trimming that off, and you hear that? It went, and I got right in there. I think what I'm going to do is put this here. I was thinking, do you want to pop it up? Let's pop it up, and then I'm going to finish off with a little bow, just something a little extra. So let's pop this here, and that way it'll cover my little boo-boo anyway, because I kind of trimmed that a little much. And I'll make like a little bow that goes here. So let me go grab some ribbon. I was looking for a bow that might have already been made. I know a friend of mine sent me a ton of bows that were ready to go. And I can't find the little jar I put them in right now. This place is ridiculous. When I got sick, like, I just did not come back in here. And it's just... yeah. Alright. I'm going to make a finger bow, but I'm going to try to make it kind of small. So again, we're just going to start here. And I'm just going to do a quick one. So it just goes behind my, you know, index finger here. Up and under my middle finger, and then I'm going to go ahead from there and just put it over so it can be kind of small. So I'm just going to cut this, and this is just from a ribbon that somebody sent me something. I thought I needed a small like 1/4 inch ribbon, and that works. So we're pushing it through there. I probably gave myself too much of a tail, because now I'm just going to push that through that little circle we just made, a little loop. I did want this smaller before I really start doing anything else. I'm going to adjust this and start kind of pulling this in so it's smaller already, and then go ahead and pull that. And so what's funny about these bows is that you can still adjust them, but if you pull one way, you might be pulling from another side, like this was too tight on my finger here. So you can still mess with it. And actually, I think that's pretty good. So what I'm going to do is just give a little snip like this. A little snip like that. And I kind of like the way it's kind of wonky. Did you see that? Huh. Okay, so I don't know if I have glue right now that's going to hold that down, so what I'll do is fire up my glue gun, put a little dab of glue, and then just put this right here. And that is my card for today. So it's essentially a 5 1/2 inch square card, but not really. Just because of that. What I can do also actually is go ahead and cut a piece on the inside so you guys know what I'm talking about as far as the liners. So let me... These beautiful faint little papers, I know we're like, oh no. But you know what? For this one, what I'm going to do is cut a piece from here on this side that is 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. Okay, and I'll be right back. Cut that down. We still have this piece that you can even do a background paper with. If you want to stamp on this and then have it in the back of your card, you know, like background. This piece is just going to go on the inside. And so I'm just going to put a little glue, but that's essentially what that's for, you guys. It's just faint so that you can still write whatever your little message is going to be to your recipient. And that's why they're also lightweight and like layering weight. How pretty is that? Again, I'll stick that down in just a minute. Alright guys, well thanks for watching. I always try to do something a little bit different when I kind of get into a magazine, something different than I normally would come up with, because that's the whole point, right? You get some inspiration from magazines, videos, or whatever. But there it is. And then we have that little guy. And I'll stick that down. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you at the next one. I'll have images coming up and I'll have links in the description box. Bye now.